At SEMO Health Network, we strive to provide caring and affordable health care. We provide medical, dental, OB, and behavioral health services to everyone that may need it. For more information, visit our website and let SEMO Health Network take care of you.
American energy dominance. It's how we secure our future. By harnessing homegrown energy, we fuel our economy, power industries, and drive innovation. At NextEra Energy, we're investing more than any other company to deliver low-cost, reliable energy that powers our country's future. NextEra Energy Resources, ahead of what's next.
Please pass the hot sauce. No, none of that watered-down ketchup. Give me the heat.
At Southern Bank, we're never not helpful.
Next stop, Spicy City.
Helping spicy grandmas and everybody else.
Your animals depend on you every day. So we build equipment you can depend on every day. So cutting hay, feeding livestock, and managing land is easier. Loaded with intuitive, innovative features and tech, Case IH equipment isn't just built to work. It's built to work for livestock producers. Case IH, built by farmers. Talk to your Baker Implement dealer today.
At First State Community Bank, our why is simple: to bring a positive impact to every community we serve. We are your neighbors and partners in building a stronger hometown. We work side by side with our community to help local businesses grow and families succeed. Our team takes the time to understand what matters to you, combining personal services with the latest technology so you can bank your way. Stop by one of our locations or visit us at fscb.com.
Mathis Funeral Home of Dexter and Bernie strives to provide their community with the accommodations and services needed to relieve your family during times of loss. For more information, give them a call and see how Mathis Funeral Home can help meet your expectations in celebrating your loved ones.
Agriculture is not a fad, and it's not for the faint of heart. Long days become long nights, sacrificing time away from your family, even on weekends, just so you can get the crop in and get the crop out. This is your way of life. At Farm Credit Southeast Missouri, we are 100% bought into your commitment. Because we are customer-owned, it is our mission to be your ag lender, and we intend to be your value-added partner for next year and the long term.
Your ag lender will always be there.
At Focus Bank, we understand your community because it's our community too. With branches across Southeast Missouri and Northeast Arkansas, Focus Bank offers services such as fraud protection, really free checking, and mobile banking that lets you bank simply and securely, anytime, anywhere. Stop by any of our branches or visit us online to open an account today. Plus, you'll receive an awesome free gift just from opening your really free checking account. And when you refer someone who opens an account, you'll both receive a gift. Focus Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
At First State Bank and Trust, protecting your money is easy. You don't have to bury it in the backyard or hide it under the mattress or stash it in your cabinets. With FSBT, your money is safe, secure, and always within reach. Choose your local and trusted bank for more than 90 years. First State Bank and Trust.
built by us.
I inspected that.
Oh yeah, I framed that.
I built that.
I stained that.
I hinged that.
I built that.
I inspected that.
I bought that. I loaded that.
All of this crafted with personal pride, built by us.
In farming, the weather always cooperates. The soil is always balanced. Seedlings always flourish.
But that's fantasy. This is farming. Seed, bred and tested for your reality. Dynagrow Seed, for real.
Real estate isn't just about opening doors. It's about navigating contracts, inspections, and deadlines. Hi, I'm Karen Hillis, your full-time local realtor. I'll guide you every step of the way and handle the details so you can focus on the move.
Since 1984, Bagby Wealth Management has assisted clients in reaching their personalized financial goals. Whether it's retirement, investments, or securing your family's future, we're here to guide you every step of the way. For more information, please call or visit our office in Dexter today. Your path starts here.
Hi, I'm Leslie Ackman. I believe buying or selling shouldn't be stressful. With clear steps, honest advice, and a little fun, we'll get through this together. Let's go make it happen.
Right smack dab in the middle of the boys' high school volleyball season, and for the Saxony Lutheran Crusaders, match number 20 on the docket today. Coming off an impressive weekend tournament at the Northwest Classic in which they went 3-0-1. They look for their fourth consecutive win. They've gone 6-1-1 in their last 8. They welcome in a St. Pius Lancer bunch that is 1-7 on the season, trying to snap a 5-game skid. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome inside Saxony Lutheran High School down near Jackson. Greg Allen, Mike Reeves with you on Aycorp Sports. Thrilled to be part of it today. We're back here again on Friday for a double dip when a much tougher customer comes to town, Mike, as far as what Saxony Lutheran's going to see. On paper, this one tells you it should be a get-through game for the Crusaders. Play it, put it in the W column. You and I have watched plenty of sports to know that always doesn't go like that. But on paper, Saxony Lutheran looks pretty good for this one. Great to see you, partner.
They certainly do, and always good to sit alongside with you. And I got to thinking on the way down here, no matter how old you get, I've been told this as I've aged year by year by year, don't ever get to the point where you say to somebody, I've done everything. Don't ever get to that point, because you'll be proven wrong at some level. And I've thought about that driving down here today, because I'm like 35 years for me in the business of broadcasting. You and I, 25 years together. And we sit here today and find something that we're going to do that we have never done before, which is a boys volleyball matchup. It does look like it heavily tilts towards the Crusaders today. We'll find out if that is indeed the case. The Lancer schedule has been primarily the schools more towards the city. Don't know much about those, but yeah, it is a growing sport, no question about it. The state has expanded it to 2 classes when it's been one the first couple of sanctioned years, and it is Greg, it's a sport that, I'll be honest now, remember, I'm old, okay? I'm exceptionally old. Going back to the days when I was young, it was like, volleyball's a girl sport. Why would boys? That is completely off the table when you watch all the levels now, whether it be high school all the way up to the college level, and of course the Olympic volleyball, it's off the charts. It's just become a popular sport, and becoming more popular, especially in the larger population cities. It's kind of working its way into the more, I don't know, the smaller enrollments, your Saxony Lutherans, for example, and maybe your St. Pius and Cape Notre Dames. For the most part right now, it's still a big city sport, but I'm looking forward to seeing it in person for the first time.
It is one that, Mike, and we've talked about this before, and we'll talk about it as the night goes along, but over the course of the years that you and I do this for 25 years, we've learned that the State Association labels some sports what they call emerging sports. Not enough schools participate in that sport in order to warrant it being a state championship affair. Boys volleyball has been on that list, and now it's graduated to that where they hold a state tournament to decide a champ. Field hockey, lacrosse, regular ice hockey. Not enough schools participate in that in order to have it to be a state sanctioned sport. I am surprised though, Mike, because you got to think from a cost perspective. All you're doing is changing the people on the floor. You've already got the stuff to play volleyball that you had from all the girls' teams. It can't be an expensive sport to put on. The bad thing for when they play it, it's going to compete with high school baseball. So a lot of the smaller schools that have been having baseball for decades and decades and decades to say, hey, you want to play boys volleyball? Well, where are we going to pull those guys from? Because a lot of our student body already plays baseball, and you're going to introduce a whole other sport that takes 10 to 15 players to put a team together and do that. I can see why it's a little late to the party. I am surprised it's only in its third season of state-sanctioned existence. We'll talk about that as the evening goes along. One other thing, you, my friend, I don't know what your problem is. If you've gotten older and older and older by years, I just crossed a birthday. Little known fact, I actually reverted from 50 down to 49, so I found a way to go the other way.
If you can keep doing that, it'll be real odd of 30 years from now when you're doing these games, as a teenager. But nonetheless, no, mine's not going the other direction. I can tell you that now. You talked about the popularity though of the sport and where it's grown. And there are now 94 schools across the state of Missouri that are playing boys volleyball at the MISHA level. They'll be in district tournaments coming up. And I don't know, again, you and I haven't been in those areas. 94 caught me as a huge number compared to what I maybe thought it was, because we're not used to seeing as many schools participate in it. But again, there will be 2 classes this year at the state tournament. That state tournament held in Cape Girardeau. And in the past couple of years, the 2 years it's been sanctioned, it's only been 1 class. So again, that tells you how fast it's growing, that they've added a second class that quick to the sport that we're about to watch today.
Well, I did talk a little bit with fifth-year head coach, and yes, 5 years as head coach, even though it's only been a state-sanctioned sport for now its third season. St. Pius head coach Amy Atzert, she said at the time it became a MISHA sport, so back in 2024, there were 80 schools that participated. So it's grown from 80 to, what'd you say, 94? So 14 more. That warrants the breakup into 2 classes instead of everybody playing under the same umbrella. So you'll get 2 state champs this year in the sport of boys volleyball. And that state championship is held very close to here, down in Cape Girardeau. So some really good volleyball coming up in early May that you can check out. Actually, late May, beg your pardon, that you can check out down in Cape Girardeau when the state championships in the Final Four all commence down in Cape.
Well, since we're talking about that and what it takes to get there, in district play, both these teams will be in the same district. It'll be Class 1, it'll be District 1, and the host of that district is Lutheran South, and they are the premier team in the district without doubt. Afton, Bayless, Lutheran South, Cape Notre Dame, Saxony Lutheran, and St. Pius are the teams that will participate in that. And in terms of matchups with Lutheran South, so far none of those teams that's played Lutheran South has any success whatsoever, not even winning a set yet against them. So Lutheran South is going to be the premier team, and I think it's interesting that we get to see them come in here on Friday, you and I and Aycorp Sports, against this Saxony Lutheran team and Cape Notre Dame. It'll be very interesting to see exactly what that line is and how big that separation is between the schools, because everyone that I was able to talk to today, including a reporter that covers boys volleyball for the St. Louis Post-Dispatch at stltoday.com, and he said, oh yeah, they're the team to beat in that by a wide margin. So I'm curious to see them on Friday, just to see what that level of play is that they bring.
That'll be a doubleheader coming up on Friday. Lutheran South down here at Saxony. Cape Notre Dame also makes the short ride up from Cape Girardeau, so we'll have that for you coming up Friday here on Aycorp Sports. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll bring in the starting lineups and the opening serve. St. Pius is in town. The 1-7 Lancers to take on the 11-7-1 Crusaders of Saxony Lutheran.
Hi, I'm Leslie Ackman. I believe buying or selling shouldn't be stressful. With clear steps, honest advice, and a little fun, we'll get through this together. Let's go make it happen.
At SEMO Health Network, we strive to provide caring and affordable health care. We provide medical, dental, OB, and behavioral health services to everyone that may need it. For more information, visit our website and let SEMO Health Network take care of you.
American energy dominance. It's how we secure our future. By harnessing homegrown energy, we fuel our economy, power industries, and drive innovation. At NextEra Energy, we're investing more than any other company to deliver low-cost, reliable energy that powers our country's future. Next Era Energy Resources, ahead of what's next.
Please pass the hot sauce. No, none of that watered down ketchup. Give me the heat.
At Southern Bank, we're never not helpful.
Next stop,
Spicy City. Helping spicy grandmas and everybody else.
Your animals depend on you every day. So we build equipment you can depend on every day. So cutting hay, feeding livestock, and managing land is easier. Loaded with intuitive, innovative features and tech, Case IH equipment isn't just built to work. It's built to work for livestock producers. Case IH, built by farmers. Talk to your Baker Implement dealer today.
Back inside the gymnasium, the home of the Crusaders, Saxony Lutheran High School. Greg Allen, Mike Reeves, welcome aboard on Aycorp Sports. Marley Hatton on the camera today, Joshua Iyer, producer. Thrilled to have you in the audience as Mike will bring you the starting lineups for this one.
Take a look at the Lancers first, again 1-7, their record coming in. Their fifth-year head coach is Amy Adzert, and they will start Charlie Getty, a 5'10 freshman. Jack Torpilla, a sophomore at 6 foot tall. Lucas Powell, 6'3 and a junior. Ivan Rohi, a 6'4 sophomore. It's Addison Eldridge, a 6 foot sophomore, and Alexander Del Vecchio, a 6 foot sophomore. The libero is Will Nesselhoff, 5'7", a sophomore. Saxony Lutheran's Crusaders, 11-7-1. Second-year head coach Michelle Terrell. They start Braden Zollner, a senior, along with Brett Sparks, a freshman, a sophomore in Kobe Meyer. Jonathan Palmer's a senior, a junior in Simon May. Grant Seibel is a sophomore. The libero for the Saxony Lutheran Crusaders is Kobe Meyer, as he comes in as a sophomore. Greg, I'm very interested to take a look and see the power of the sport in this one. That's what I want to see, because that's what everybody's told me, is that if you go watch the boys' game, it's so much faster, the game is more powerful, and it's won with hits more often than mistakes. I'm curious to see if all that's true.
That also, Mike, if it is true, and I believe it to be true, I've seen men's volleyball at the collegiate level. There's not as much back and forth. The rallies are a lot shorter. You don't get that extended kind of stuff that you might see in the girls or women's game. So I'm on board with you. Chances are you're going to see exactly what you thought you'd see, and we'll check it out tonight. One change to the Lancer lineup. Their head coach, Amy Adzert, did say if they were on serve-receive, and they are, August Taylor will start instead of Charlie Getty, the freshman for the Lancers. So you'll see Taylor in the starting lineup to get this one underway here from Saxony Lutheran. Lancers trying to snap a 5-game skid. Their only win came against Maplewood Richmond Heights on March the 30th. They opened with back-to-back losses against Althoff Catholic in Illinois and Northwest the Lions. Since then, 5 in a row in the L column. Borgia, Chaminade, Clayton Lutheran South, and Seckman. So St. Pius has played that Lutheran South bunch, Mike, that you talked about, and they lost that in straight sets.
I don't want to get tonight over with fast. That's not my point, but I'm really looking forward to the Lutheran South Friday, seeing them here. Just, again, I want to see what the difference is between what people are saying, yeah, they are a step above everyone in that district. I want to see what a step above looks like come Friday. Again, not trying to get rid of tonight, but I am looking forward to Friday for that very reason. We get to see them play twice, but also looking forward to this one to see if, number one, the Crusaders can do what we think the stats and everything says they should. Let's come in here and play well. We should be able to walk away with a win. and see if the Lancers, that maybe that 1-7 is a little misleading based on schedule that they've played. Find out that as we get ready to serve it up here.
And you talked about that on the way down here, that early season schedule for St. Pius. You're going to play a bunch of teams out of the city, and that's where a lot of the power as far as the statewide talent sort of lives. I mean, that 1-7 is a bit of a mirage. I don't know. We'll find out with the Lancers as they are in the Navy attire. Saxony Lutheran in the home whites. And we'll get this one underway. It'll be St. Pius on serve receive. The officials with their final checks. Lancers last year went 15-7. They lost to Lindbergh. They did win a district. They went out in the state sectionals with a 3-0 loss to the Flyers, 3-0. Saxony Lutheran last year, they've kind of flipped the script here. They went 9-15 last year, 11-7-1 now. They lost to St. Pius in that district championship game, 3-0. So the Lancers have actually won the last 4 in a row head-to-head, and we're underway. Lancers on serve receive. They'll get a chance to score the opening point. They'll go up front right, a little bit of a miss hit that time. And volley back across for a win for Saxony Lutheran.
Kill number 1 of the day is what will be many. That one from Jonathan Palmer, the senior up front.
Back to serve the sophomore Samuel Petzold. Right into the hands of the libero Nesselhoff. They'll go up front right to Powell. A little bit of a roll shot on that attempt. Big swing there cross court, and it's Palmer 2 in a row.
Well, 2 points in, and some of the things we were told hold true for 2 points. You'll see more points won than given away. So far, 2 kills, resulting in 2 points.
Solid serve by the sophomore Petzold. There's a power shot, and that hit back line. That's in. A little bit of topspin. A nice hit from Lucas Powell, the junior, to put St. Pius on the board at a 2-1 score. Well, Mike, you'd have to think with the amount of power you tend to see at the boys' men's game, or jockeying between high school and college here, being able to control the ball with the way you hit it, as we have our first service air courtesy of the Lancers, and it's now 3-1. You better be able to put some top sims, some side spin. You better know how to handle it and do something with it to keep it inside the lines. Set this time from Powell up front. No power on that attempt, and Saxony Lutheran will come back, play that off the double block back to the Crusaders. 50-50 ball at the net, and we play on. We'll try again with Palmer. And he has been a scoring machine early for Saxony Lutheran to a 4-1 advantage here early.
Yeah, to your point, Greg, if you're going to come in and, hey, the way we'll try to win is we'll try to dig up everything and just throw it back across and wait for you to make mistakes.
Bad recipe.
It's rarely that. It's rarely going to work. Now, I'm not saying you don't want to be able to dig and keep balls alive, but if that's the way you're going to have to try to get points, it's not going to work.
Serve receive a little off that time from St. Pius.
And that resulted in an ace for Simon May.
Saxony Lutheran jumps on top of the 5-1 ad. Crusaders 11-7-1 this season. It comes all the way back. That's another thing in this men's game. Volleyed across over the top of a block. The block was in the net, and it's now 6-1. Serve, receive, and this extends to the girls' game, Mike. That is just so critical in this sport.
How many times have we talked to volleyball coaches at the end of nights, and the first thing they talked about if it didn't go well, our serve receive was terrible.
Yep.
I mean, it happens a lot. And right now, a terrific start. 7-1 lead for Saxony.
And again, Mike, the length of points is not taking long here.
No, the discussion time we'll have between points will be very limited, and during points, very limited.
Right from the back line, Jack Torpilla couldn't get it across, out to an 8-1 lead and an early Lancer timeout from fifth-year head coach Amy Atzert. We'll join them on Aycorp Sports.
At First State Community Bank, our why is simple: to bring a positive impact to every community we serve. We are your neighbors and partners in building a stronger hometown. We work side by side with our community to help local businesses grow and families succeed. Our team takes the time to understand what matters to you, combining personal services with the latest technology so you can bank your way. Stop by one of our locations or visit us at fscb.com.
St. Pius in town today, take on Saxony Lutheran. They'll have another match on Friday. Lutheran South in the house. Cape Notre Dame will be here as well. Saxony Lutheran, Cape Notre Dame will not play each other that night. That one flipped across, and Crusaders a chance to go up 9-1. Pounded off the block, kept alive for a moment by St. Pius. They're scrambling, and they will clear it over, but a free opportunity here for Saxony Lutheran, up by 7. Trying to go up 8. It's wide, and instead it's an 8-2 affair.
Well, we talked about how many things are different, you and I, doing volleyball on the boys' side for the very first time ever. But that saying that you hear every once in a while, the more things change, the more they stay the same. There are unsanctioned officials in the corners calling the floor. I don't guess that changes no matter where you go watch volleyball at the high school level.
That ends a 6-0 run by Saxony Lutheran. Put them up 8-1, now 8-2. Lancers back to serve with freshman Ben Wacker. Drive the returner Kobe Meyer, the libero for Saxony Lutheran, back to the line. That hit is cross court and wide off the hands of Braden Zellner. And that makes it now 8-3.
I think Pius 3 points, one of them off of a kill or service ace. The other 2 were kind of handed to them.
Big rip right in the middle. Jonathan Palmer, windmill at home, 9-3.
That one was one outright. You go up and if you don't get hands on that up front with a block, you're leaving your back row completely exposed. You're not getting that ball up and playable very often.
Seibel on serve. Lancers on receive. They'll back set that time. Lucas Powell, the guy they want to go to, and now Saxony Lutheran scrambling, will clear from the side, and nicely curved inside the antenna by Petzel. Volley back across. Petzel got hands on that. Powell to set up front right off the block. St. Pius down by half a dozen. We play in Saxony Lutheran. First set action, and a innocent ball just drops on the side of the Crusaders. And all of a sudden, St. Pius has found something here, 9-4, after they trailed 8-1.
I think that last point, the longest of the rallies that we've seen so far. Most of them have gone pretty quick through the first 13.
Petzold on the set, two-handed across, over the block. Just kind of nestled behind that block by Palmer. So he's got the power, he's got the finesse, and he's got his club up 10-4.
Well, how important is it that not only do you have the finesse game, but when to use it? And he used it perfectly there. He has 6 kills here in this opening set. They only have 10 points.
He's a senior, and his club gets the ball back. He'll be on the set this time to his counterpart. Good dig in the back row by Ben Wacker. Little miscommunication by the Lancers. That's deep, but played. May have been going out, uncertain. Saxony Lutheran likes to play it. They said, that's fine. We got Braden Zellner. He'll put it away. It's 11-4.
Boy, Palmer showing off all the skills now as he's been put into a spot as he's rotated to the back row, and now he walks up as a setter. And that set was perfect to, a teammate who put it away in Braden Zollner.
How about a near ace serve? Although it's brought back nicely by St. Pius. Good recovery. Still down by 7. Another big shot. Mike, Lancers just are not getting anybody to the net defensively. And it is a shooting gallery up front right now for Saxony Lutheran, 12-4.
Yeah, there's been a number of plays already where there's been no hands on the hit up front.
How about that serve? Wow, 13-4.
There aren't a lot of people going to return that one.
Jonathan Palmer does it again. That's a little different in the boys' game versus what we see in the girls' side. There's some of that power you were talking about.
Yeah, from that spot where you get the jump serve that's literally a spike from 30 feet away.
So all the way back, Crusaders two-hand that free ball across. Now it's Powell that will do the same, albeit deep, and he'll do it wide. Another run here by Saxony Lutheran after the Lancers had cut it to 9-4. It's another 6-point hit in the net, but you'll take what you got there from Palmer, and that's a question, Mike, you and I have had ever since we started broadcasting high school volleyball on the girls' side, now turn to the boys' side. What do you need out of a server if they're going to do what we just saw Palmer do with the power and the speed? How many is the risk reward? How many really good, almost ace type, or at least points do you need before you'll give one that's an error.
Yeah, because and I don't think there's a set number answer we've ever come up with. What is it? You'll know it when you see it. What he just did there, nobody would have any qualms with. Hey, yeah, he gave up that point, but he ran off, I think it was 5 straight serves. Okay. He had 2 aces in that set of 5 points in a row. That's well worth that one he hit in the net.
He sets up Petzel, and Lancers this time in the net, trying to commit people now to the net defensively. A little too tight that time, 16-5.
But if you're going to serve in the way in which Palmer is serving, common sense tells you every so often you're going to miss hit one and you're going to make a mistake.
Right, exactly.
There's a lot of error involved in that particular serve.
0 for 1 on that attempt by Zellner. And a lot of these points that St. Pius has scored, of the 6, have been missed hits by Saxony Lutheran so far. That's a deep serve. That's out off the hands of Torpillo.
Each team with a couple of service errors.
17-6 on the board. We're back here Friday. A little earlier start than we had here with Lutheran South coming to town.
We'll begin that doubleheader at 4:30, so an hour earlier than today.
Kobe Meyer. That's 2 missed serves in a row out of the Crusaders. Zellner last time, Meyer this time.
How if you backtrack to the final serve from Palmer, 3 straight points that have been handed the way of the opposition. It's not going to matter a lot on the scoreboard right now at 17-7, but you don't want that kind of that many mistakes in a row.
Back set to Seibel. He'll play it to the floor nicely. That was off the Nesselhoff serve for St. Pius. And now Petzel back to do the honors of the second-year man for Saxony Lutheran. Deep serve, a tough get on the sideline, but Gabe Baez able to keep that alive, and the Lancers clear. Going to the big man, Palmer. See ya.
7th kill, and one thing he would tell you, and it should go without saying, but I'll say it. You don't do what he's doing up front without the ball being in the right spot to do it. So you've got teammates who are doing their job to get it to you.
Probably back across. St. Pius just clears. Free opportunity. Palmer takes a ball over his shoulder. Couldn't get the full power on it. And now Powell will send it across and out. The accuracy for the Lancers just is not there in set number 1. They trail by a baker's dozen here. And it's been Petzold. That one in the net for the 4th service error by the Crusaders. 20-8 in set 1. Charlie Getty will check in and replace August Taylor.
Another way to look at that, it's 20-8, 4 service errors. Half the points that St. Pius has scored have been off service mistakes.
Off the tape, run down by the Crusaders and put away by Palmer. You've seen that before.
Well, we've only had our broadcast going for about 13 minutes since we had the first serve. We actually served the first ball at about 5:35. And it hasn't taken very long to figure out if Palmer gets it in the right spot, he's going to be pretty tough to handle.
How about that on an overpass put away?
There's been no reason to think, well, there'll be an adjustment St. Pius can make to stop Palmer. There's nothing in my head that says, oh, they've got something that they can do to slow this down. Because they haven't even come close to it so far. And then you make an overpass like they just did a moment ago right into his hands.
Oh, Petzold, so pretty and crafty. Everybody eyeing the assist forthcoming to Jonathan Palmer, and Petzold took care of that on his own. That was awfully crafty.
When to use that dump pass to score.
Service 8 puts him on set point at 24-8. This is Noah Meyer on the serve line now. And it's been 4 in a row in the Crusaders category here, 24-8. Powell, he'll try to go with that second ball attack and score. 24-9. Well, I'm thinking along with you, Mike, I'll say this, if St. Pius has something that they can throw up there to try to defend Jonathan Palmer and the rest of this offense with Petzold, they should be doing it already.
Yeah, and there's been no indication that it's there. So we'll see. I mean, you got time left.
There's a big swing by Zellner to put set one away at 25-9 in favor of the hometown Saxony Lutheran Crusaders. They're up 1-0. They're trying to win their fourth in a row, dating back to the weekend's Northwest tournament. All good for the Crusaders through one on Aycorp Sports.
In farming, the weather always cooperates. The soil is always balanced. Seedlings always flourish.
But that's fantasy. This is farming. Seed, bred and tested for your reality. Dynagrow Seed, for real.
At Focus Bank, we understand your community because it's our community too. With branches across Southeast Missouri and Northeast Arkansas, Focus Bank offers services such as fraud protection, really free checking, and mobile banking that lets you bank simply and securely, anytime, anywhere. Stop by any of our branches or visit us online to open an account today. Plus, you'll receive an awesome free gift just from opening your really free checking account. And when you refer someone who opens an account, you'll both receive a gift. Focus Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Built by us.
I inspected that.
Oh yeah, I framed that.
I built that.
I stained that.
I hinged that.
I built that.
I inspected that.
I bought that. I loaded that.
All of this, crafted with personal pride. Built by us.
A St. Pius team that won a district title last season, bounced in a state tournament to Lindbergh. You look at their roster this year, it is a young Lancer bunch. One senior, two juniors, and that is it for upperclassmen. The rest are freshmen and sophomore, and they are trying to hold down the fort here against Jonathan Palmer and the Saxony Lutheran Crusader offense that has been attacking almost at will in set one. I would like to lobby one complaint about the Aycorp Sports Group.
Okay.
You know, we've done a bunch of basketball. You know, I set up 4 or 5 cameras. Go to football, 5, 6 cameras. Come to a regular season boys volleyball. It is Marley Hatton.
They put Marley. Yep, Marley goes
all by herself.
That's all right. We'll make it work. I mean, at least if it's going to be one person, you got somebody with quality to get it done.
That's true.
So,
well, she's the show for you tonight.
Oh, it is so different, each sport and what it requires to try to get. I was talking to Joshua just a little bit ago. Baseball, softball, how hard it is to do that at the level we want to do it at because of the amount of space that there is to cover and how where do you put the cameras, how many cameras you put. Then you get the outdoor games, and our problem, the weather is such a factor that, all right, let's set up a camera down the right field line, the left field line, a center field camera, and then a camera above the plate, and they're all outside. And it's going to rain in the third inning, and it's going to rain hard. And it's like, now, how are we going to handle this? I mean, we went through that on the radio side many, many, many times. Where do you get set up that if they decide to play in the rain that you can still keep a broadcast going? I know football has its issues. It can. But a lot of times at least you can have a camera in a press box that can cover things if they keep playing through a rain. But, yeah, it is different. You come here and you get the one camera set up, ready to go.
Well, Marley doing a great job so far tonight. Point number 1 of set 2 goes the way of the Lancers to give them their first lead of the night, 1-0. As that time they did block Palmer with the double block at the net and got the point.
So there's the answer to our question. Maybe is there someone who can get up and take care of business? Maybe there is.
They'll give that point right back on a service error, of which the Lancers had 2 in the first set. Our first tie of the match comes right there.
That's the second service error from Lucas Powell.
No ties, no lead changes in set 1. Hit in the net by Torpilla, 2-1 Saxony Lutheran. First meeting between these two came April 7th of 2022. Crusaders won that one 3-1. Same final score 12 days later in that 22 season. That one just kind of flipped across, and a free opportunity for the Lancers. They don't do anything with it despite having it right in the middle of Rohe. Here comes Palmer, and there it goes. 3-1.
Well, you hate that you got the ball in a free ball opportunity. You played it over on the second hit but didn't have any attack to it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's almost like you never took advantage of the opportunity that you had. And then, to make things worse, they found Palmer on that left side and the 10th kill of the evening.
Simon May on the serve. Lancers on the hit. Deep into the corner and in. Torpilla had to kind of loft it over some of the Crusaders to get it across the net, and it was able to fall in the corner. 3-2. They cut it to 1 to the Lancers.
Even Torpilla looked a little surprised that stayed in. It was like when it landed and they called it in, he kind of had that look like, yes, not necessarily thinking that was going to stay in. It was able to just dive and catch that back corner.
Lancers on serve, trying to tie it. That one just over the tape. In fact, it clipped the tape. They go up top to Zellner, and he'll score 4-2.
Third kill for the senior.
First time the Lancers were able to knock off Saxony Lutheran. April 16th, 2 years ago in a 3-1 final. They've rattled off 3 more wins in a row since, including that district final last year. So the Lancers come in here having beaten Saxony Lutheran 4 straight times, and 4 out of their all-time 6 meetings. Back set to Getty, kind of put him in a bad spot. Getty tried to play it over his head and across. That didn't work. 5-2, second set. Saxony won the opener 25-9. And that may have jammed a finger on serve receive from Will Nesselhoff, the way he responded to that. 6-2 on the service ace, as it turns out to be, and Nesselhoff trying to shake that off. He's going to come right back to it, and that was long.
One official has it in, one had it out. The unsanctioned had it out. What are we going to do? Flip a coin?
Coin toss. It was called long. It's 6-3. Lancers on serve. Nesselhoff out. And Zellner missed that one. St. Pius trying to get back in this thing now, down by 2 at 6-4. Lancers after this. Duchesne coming to town in 6 days. Then they go 4 straight on the road to St. Pius. Bayless, Oakville, Parkway South, and right back down here to Cape Notre Dame coming up on May the 5th. That's a 4-hit effort by the Lancers, and that makes it now 7-4 rather.
I think after you take a serve receive that bends back a finger or jams a finger, and then the next one comes right at you, you're hesitant to put those fingers back out there again.
Toward the stands, that's an ace. It's now 8-4, and the Crusaders have the Lancers doubled up here.
Serve ace number 3 for Palmer. That not of the, overpowering variety.
Is that one good enough for you?
He said this is the one that you were thinking about, right?
Overpass to Zellner. He'll put it away 9-4. A lot of offensive options for Saxony Lutheran.
Okay, one thing I've noticed is that every time there's been a mistake on an overpass that's come to the side of the Crusaders, they have hammered it and taken advantage of it. No misses, no give the ball back.
Wow. I feel you, Will Nesselhoff. I'm glad I'm not out there. 10-4.
Now that is a devastating weapon.
Palmer. They'll do it again. A rotation violation called on St. Pius. That makes it 11-4.
Given what happened with the serve and how effective it was, I don't know that it was going to change anything, whether it was a violation or whether it was going to be a service ace.
Getty and Torpilla were not in the right spots. Palmer tries to do it again and can't. And that ends a 5-0 run. Saxony Lutheran's first service error of set 2. They had 4 in set 1. Saxony Lutheran opened up the year 5-0, played a bunch of Illinois schools right in the middle of the season. After that 5-0 start, they lost 5 straight. But they come in here having gone 6-1-1, the tie to Fox to open play in the Northwest tournament this past weekend in their last 8. Nice save off the foot that time, and an effort by Ben Wacker. And the ball's out of bounds, though, and a point to the Crusaders nonetheless, but a heck of an effort by Wacker to get creative and keep that ball off the floor, and that's completely legal.
Yep, to those maybe new to the sport, maybe you just flipped on the stream and went, Aycorp's doing, boys volleyball. I'm going to catch that a little bit. And you're like, wait a minute, he kicked it. Yeah, it's perfectly okay. You can do that, and he did it well.
Can I put that in a whole different kind of discussion?
Sure you can.
Wait a minute, hit the ball off the plate. Nope, totally legal.
Or hit the plate, it's foul.
Totally legal.
You've heard that one before too, right?
A bunch of times.
That hit the plate, it's foul. There's two things wrong with that. It's a wrong statement and a wrong interpretation of the rule.
12-6, an overpass on serve received that time from Saxony Lutheran. Lancers, though, on a 50-50 ball, comes right back to him. We're still in a phone booth in the middle and a lift called when it's all said and done. Point goes to the home team. They lead 13-6.
Yeah, St. Pius has had no ability so far to put any run of points together. Yeah. They fell behind early 8-1 in the first set. Never had any run that even challenged the Crusaders. And then in this set, they've had kind of the same issues.
Saxony Lutheran has played Cape Notre Dame this season. It was somewhat recently, 2 weeks ago. Lost a 3-0 affair. 13-7 here in the second. Seibel on the hit. Seibel on the point. 14-7. Crusaders comfortably ahead in set two. They won the opener 25-9. Petzold off the tape. Comes all the way back off the hit from Nesselhoff. This is Meyer. Back to Petzold. Here comes Palmer. Off the block and a winner.
Kill number 11 for the big senior up front. He has 11 kills. He has 4 aces. He has the 2 serve errors mixed in there, but those aren't any issue given what's happening on the scoreboard and what he's doing on the floor.
Tough receive on serve receive. That serve was not moving at all as it came across the net. I mean, it was, the ball had 0 rotation. It looked so odd. But the Crusaders get the point and lead by 9. We are 16-7 in the second. Petzold, good serve. Comes right back to him, though, from Nesselhoff. Palmer calls for it. Palmer gets it. Palmer to the corner and a winner. 17-7 orchestrated by Jonathan Palmer and Samuel Petzold, and the Crusaders lead by 10.
I love the way Palmer recognized on that play. Listen, I don't need the elevation, the huge. The opening is down this far left side, and he placed it perfectly.
Lancer struggled just to keep it alive, clear it deep. Petzold got arms on it. Into the hands now up front of Noah Meyer and played back across. Up by 10 with the ball. They go away from Palmer. They got other options. Seibel couldn't put it to the floor. It's not coming back, though. It's an eventual Crusader point, and the lead's 11. We talk about the youth on St. Pius. Same can be said for Saxony Lutheran, maybe not to the degree of the Lancers. Volleyed over by Powell. They'll go Palmer. He'll just two-hand one over. He wasn't in a hitting position. And so St. Pius with Powell, not much on that. Coming back to Palmer. Yep. In the net that time and a miss hit. 18-8.
He elected that time to try to go with that real sharp angle and go from the left front where he was positioned across the net to the other side. Real difficult hit. Didn't pull it off that time.
2 seniors, 2 juniors for Saxony Lutheran. The seniors being Zellner and Palmer. Simon May and Noah Meyer, the third-year men for Saxony Lutheran. And the Lancers have scored 2 in a row. 18-9 in the second. Glad you're with us on Aycorp Sports. Midweek boys high school volleyball. And we'll be back here on Friday for 2 more. Lutheran South coming to town. Cape Notre Dame making a short jaunt north to get here.
Service error by Powell, followed an ace, but that's his 3rd service miscue.
Crusaders with it. Palmer. Nesselhoff able to get arms on that and do something with it. Actually controlled it and got it to a teammate for a good hit. And it works out for St. Pius to a point. That was one of the best efforts they've had against Palmer. Palmer didn't get the full 100% power on it. We've learned he doesn't need to at times. But the Lancers did a good job that time to dig that up and score.
It's one thing to save the ball. It's another to put it in a spot to do something with it. And that was what they did there.
Ben Wacker down that right side sideline. Good serve receive out of the Crusaders. Flipped over with the almost backhanded by Seibel. Tipped back over to the Crusaders. Now Zellner's going to get a crack. He'll miss-hit it. (19-11). You play best of 5, so the first one to win 3 sets if you need the 5th. It's an abbreviated set to 15 points instead of 25. It's okay if you're new. We had to learn all this too when we started calling this stuff in the girls' side of things back in 2002, 3, 4, somewhere in there. Nobody knows what that ball was. They're going to call it in.
Felt like a coin toss call.
One of my biggest frustrations with this sport. 19-12. Kind of smacking at that volleyball is Wacker. Palmer through the hands of Nesselhoff. That time he could not control it. And that gives Saxony Lutheran point 20.
Well, they've never felt threatened at any juncture of the proceedings so far. Jumped out to the big lead in set 1. Set 2, we're up 11-4.
Another rotation violation on St. Pius. Kellen Harris just checked in for Saxony Lutheran moments ago. Seibel to serve the sophomore. 4 away from set 2. Little side spin on that one. Powell with a good setup. Miss hit by Getty, out of bounds. 22-12.
We've learned over the years, so important, your arm angle when you go to hit for an attack play. That arm angle is so crucial, and the arm angle in that last one was not close.
Getty bailed on serve received and hung Nesselhoff out to dry. It's 23-12. If you act like you're going to play a ball and then peel away, boy, that guy behind you has very little reaction time. 3rd rotation violation of the night on the Lancers, and that gives Saxony Lutheran set point. And now Amy Atzert wants to know who's at fault here. And they're pointing to Jack Torpilla to some degree.
Got a thumb up from the floor official saying you guys are good right now.
Saxony Lutheran gets a thumb up for set 2. They win that one comfortably as well. 25-9 in the first, 25-12 in the second. It's all Crusaders. They're a set away from a sweep on a Tuesday night here at Saxony Lutheran.
Please pass the hot sauce. No, none of that watered down ketchup. Give me the heat.
At Southern Bank, we're never not helpful.
Next stop,
Spicy City. Helping spicy grandmas and everybody else.
At First State Bank and Trust, protecting your money is easy. You don't have to bury it in the backyard or hide it under the mattress or stash it in your cabinets. With FSBT, your money is safe, secure, and always within reach. Choose your local and trusted bank for more than 90 years. First State Bank and Trust.
American energy dominance. It's how we secure our future. By harnessing homegrown energy, we fuel our economy, power industries, and drive innovation. At NextEra Energy, we're investing more than any other company to deliver low-cost, reliable energy that powers our country's future. NextEra Energy Resources, ahead of what's next.
Your animals depend on you every day. So we build equipment you can depend on every day. So cutting hay, feeding livestock, and managing land is easier. Loaded with intuitive, innovative features and tech, Case IH equipment isn't just built to work. It's built to work for livestock producers. Case IH, built by farmers. Talk to your Baker Implement dealer today.
Saxony Lutheran in command after 2 sets. Looking like what we kind of thought coming in. The paper would say this would look like. It has looked very much like that. Friday, you expect that to be a little bit different with a whole different animal in town here in Lutheran South. And Mike, I think that will be a good look for you and I to see the same team, Saxony Lutheran, play a match tonight where they're the heavy favorite and then play a team that's like, okay, this is what we did to St. Pius the other night, having done it to them.
Yeah, they won't be a heavy favorite come Friday, but I think it's good to play a team like that you're going to see in the district at some point. Everything's going to have to go through them. So it's a good time of year to get a matchup and see what you got there. I'm looking forward to that just because the variance in levels. We did the girls' game so much over the years going back, Greg, that we knew pretty much who the elites were and who the middle of the pack was, and then who they're going to have a rough go of it were. And you knew what the gap was between the top tier and that middle or whatever. We don't know that right now. We don't know where from what we've seen, we don't know that very top tier. And what is it? What is the state champion? DeSmit last year won the state title. Lafayette the year before. We don't know what that looks like yet. We haven't had that opportunity to see that.
Service ace off the jump by Petzel, 1-0 Saxony Lutheran. 1 tie, 1 lead change in set 2. And if you're not sure where the power is in girls volleyball in the state of Missouri, I got an easy way you can find out. It's a short trip to find out. In the middle, Seibel, that's going to be long, not touched, and it's 1-1. All you got to do is go a little bit north to Oak Ridge, track down Julie Ward. She'll tell you. She was at Farmington for a number of years. She knows where all the power in the state is.
I started to say the coaches that have some experience and at places that they've seen, and with her coaching where she's seen a lot of the powers in the state.
Unfortunately, they weren't on her team for a number of those high-level matches.
Lucas Powell, 4th service error there.
2-1. 2-2. Way long by that serve. My goodness. Couple of ties early here in the third. Addison Eldridge out for St. Pius. Cullen Klepsig, the senior, at 6-1 in. And Wacker back to serve. And back in the lead of the Crusaders by 1. Having a hard time getting going here in the third. More errors than points earned so far through 5. Calling for it, Meyer. That's Noah towards the net. Palmer just punches it over. Free opportunity for the Lancers to claim a 3-3 tie. Coaxed across and just over the tape by Powell, but nothing on it. This will have something on it. But the block that time was fantastic by St. Pius, and then Saxony Lutheran had to scramble a little bit. Now the Crusaders, they run into each other a little bit. Free balled across by Zellner. Powell with a great back set. Wind up swing and a miss hit by Klepsig. That was one of the best sequences for St. Pius tonight. I know they didn't get the point, but they had defense on the attack, and I thought they moved and rotated well.
Yep, and Klepsig was the one that had that big block up front. Didn't turn into a point, but a rare block on a ball by Palmer.
Powell across. I go to Palmer beyond the 10-foot spike line. Played by Nesselhoff. Crusaders up a pair, make it 3 on the hit by Zellner. If you're new to this sport and you're watching and you're like, okay, why is there a guy on the right side of the floor that's in a different color uniform? What is going on with him?
He brought the wrong ones tonight. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Sorry about that.
It is planned. It's supposed to be like that. In the middle, Kellen Harris with an attack ball and a block this time. Turns into a Lancer point, and it's now 5-3. That is your libero, Nesselhoff in this case, who looks like he's checking out. He is tagged your defensive specialist, so to speak. And now Saxony Lutheran has their libero on the floor. Number 4 in that Navy jersey there in Kobe Meyer. Nesselhoff right back in. Redemption time up front, and Klepsig has missed 2 in a row.
Tell you what comes to my mind if you want to talk about where you would go in this part of the state to find some of the best libero play. And again, we're going to go on the girls' side. That's what we've watched mostly. Go to Valley Catholic year after year.
I knew that's where you were going. I knew exactly where you're going.
Year after year, whoever their libero is generally deemed to be one of the best at that class in the state of Missouri. It happens all the time.
7-4 as a miss hit up front by, hold the phone on that. All right, 8-3.
They said that got through off Petzold.
Misread that. 5-point lead Crusaders. And Palmer to put it in play. We've seen him and his abilities back behind the service line a number of times already. Nesselhoff with power, too much of it. 9-3, that's long. Nancy Fisher has had a volleyball factory for so many years at Valley Catholic High School in St. Genevieve. And boy, has she turned out just libero after girls that can just scrappy, get on the floor type players. There's another ace off the serve line. It's 10-3. They don't always win state titles. They don't always win. But they have won plenty over the years, and a bunch of them.
And you don't play there unless you're willing to get down and play defense. And it doesn't matter what kind of hitter you are. You better be able to play some defense.
10-4. Off the service mistake that time from the Crusaders.
So Palmer, 3 serve errors, but 5 serve aces.
We are in the third. Crusaders won the opener 25-9, took the second 25-12, and lead by half a dozen here currently in the third, and now make that lead 5 as they try to run the tip drill defensively, but it's Powell with the winner.
Powell leading the way for the Lancers with 5 kills in this one.
Back with you Friday for more volleyball and Aycorp sports. Lutheran South will play both Saxony Lutheran and Cape Notre Dame. I don't think that ever cleared, and neither did the officials. That springboarded off the net.
A call that has been debated time and time again in matches we've watched. Did it or did it not clear? Was it a ball off the net or was it blocked?
Good recovery by Nesselhoff and a bit of a roll shot by Wacker well off the tape. Big attack here. My goodness, Zellner. 11-6. He exploded on that ball.
How about that back set, though, that came from Palmer? Perfect location. Hitters will tell you, get the ball where I want it, and I can make a lot of good things happen. And it's a setter's job to know where is that they want it, as that serve ace will go off the tape and fall to the floor for Zellner.
Well, if you hit them hard enough, they're going to have momentum to crawl over that tape.
Well, that one did. I mean, he almost hit the tape square.
And another ace. A less powerful serve, and I don't think that first one that hit the tape and fell over would have gone over.
Circling back to what we were talking about just a moment ago, how many times have we heard as that goes out from Zellner, and second service mistake of the night for him? Coaches say that the setter has so many things that they have to do and have to know how to do, and one of those is they have to know each hitter's strengths. Like if I'm going to set it to him, he likes it outside here at this spot, or he likes it right at the net, or off the net. You've got to learn those things with those hitters.
Cross-court attempt by Simon May, but dug up by the Lancers. Now they come to Powell in the middle. He hit it in the net. 14-7. All right, you and I have sat here for so many volleyball conversations. As you make that comment, what coach comes to your mind? I got one.
I've got a couple. I'm thinking of Tara Lamb at Arcadia Valley. And then going back a few years, Tracy Casey at Park Hills.
That's where I was. Tracy Casey at Park Hills.
Yep.
And the second half of that conversation you're talking about setters and knowing strength of hitters, the hitters have to be available, right? That was always what she liked to see out of her hitters. Make yourself available to the setter.
They might not always go to you because they've got options, but make sure that you're there.
That serve is long. It's the fourth service error of the set by the Crusaders. Of the 8 points that St. Pius has garnered in this set, half of them have been gifted to them. It's been a tough go for St. Pius tonight.
And Greg, this has been in the early stages of the program. This is the anomaly year so far for St. Pius. They've been good, and they've had some really good years.
Won a district last year, went 15-7. They went 16-5 the year before that in the first state-sanctioned season in 2024.
Yeah, so 16-5, 15-7. You don't always think of 1-7 to this point is what's coming your way.
I mean, it looks like utter collapse, but like we talked about, big hammer there from Palmer. Rise up and put it away cross court for the win. A lot of the early season schedule for St. Pius has been a bunch of the city schools. Not that's going to change a whole bunch going forward.
Yeah, and being where they are in Festus, you're going to play a lot. It's closer to go up and play the city schools than it is to come down here.
That's off the block and a winner out of Lucas Powell, who's been one of their best attackers tonight, 17-9.
And I am curious, as the sport grows, how much it ever does, based on what you talked about with the conflict with the baseball season, does it filter down to some of the really low enrollment schools, what we would think of in basketball as class 1s and 2s? Will we ever see the sport at that level? And right now it just seems like that would be a far reach to get to that point.
I agree with you completely. You know, I'm just trying to rattle through a couple of schools down in this sort of area that we would talk about in that class, like an advance type thing, right? Another service mistake by Saxony Lutheran, 18-10.
I think the Crusaders have reached a point now that they know that they're in such command that they can try some things on the serve line, and if it results in an error, it's not going to affect outcome. So they've attempted a few things they might not ordinarily.
This has been ordinary with Palmer. They go away from him, though. Kept alive off the hip by Caleb Seaball. Palmer got arms on that. They'll set Zellner. He's had plenty of that tonight, but that one's in the net, and it's 18-11. St. Pius after this one, Duchesne, Bayless, Oakville, Parkway South, Cape Lorraine, and they'll host these Crusaders on May the 7th to wrap up their regular season prior to districts. Palmer, go away from him. They backset the libero that time. He had some pop on that. It was kept alive and clear by the Lancers. They'll dig that one up from Palmer and a hit by Nesselhoff. And back with Saxony Lutheran, who lead by 7. Double block that time in the face of Palmer. St. Pius needed some of this in set 1. They didn't have any of it. That's a 50-50 ball. That's trouble, but getting a hand out in the middle was Ivan Rohi. Longest play of the night and longest rally of the night goes the way of Saxony Lutheran. But both teams with good battles there.
We haven't seen much of that at all tonight. Seaball eventually got the winner as he tapped it over, went behind him and over his head to drop that in, but the defense there and some challenge at the net.
Yeah.
Haven't seen that much at all.
Seaball on the serve, coming back the way of the Crusaders. They pop it up to Palmer. He'll rip that, but Nesselhoff stood right in the way of it. It's so impressive when defensive players, liberos, take your pick, can dig up just missiles like that coming out and control them. I mean, he didn't shank that 8 rows up in the stands.
No, it was put where it's still in play. It's remarkable, and he's had too many of those tonight for his liking to have to deal with.
Nesselhoff changed his mind mid-hit, and he hit it short, 21-11.
How many times have we talked about that too? I'm going to put the arms down and bump it over, or I'm going to hit it overhand, and I'm thinking about it, and then I do neither. You end up hitting it right in the middle of the net.
Seaball on serve. They come up front. Getty. Played by Noah Meyer. Oh, Zellner. Another smart play. Two-handed it over the block for the win, 22-11. Crusaders down the stretch after Lutheran South. They'll see Seckman, Lutheran St. Charles, Cape de Rame on May the 4th. They're at Father McGivney in Illinois and wrap it up at that May 7th match at St. Pius. They are 2 points away from wrapping this one up here on April 21st. Caleb Seaball. He's rattled off 5 points in a row. Trying to make it 6 right here. The elevation, and 2 Crusaders run into each other. Kellen Harris and Braden Zellner, and they hit it in the net.
Well, make yourself available, but also know when somebody else is supposed to be the one to make the attack.
2 away from their 4th consecutive win and win number 12 on the year, and 1 more kill for Jonathan Palmer. And we will get a whole nother look at Palmer coming up in 3 days when one of the top teams in St. Louis come here in Lutheran South.
That kill for Palmer, number 15 on the evening. By far the most for anybody on the floor.
Wrap it up with an ace, and does. A straight set winner tonight for the Saxony Lutheran Crusaders. 25-9, 12, and 12 is the way it goes in favor of the home team, who improved to 12-7-1. St. Pius falls to 1-8. We'll take a break. We'll come back and then wrap it up after this as Saxony Lutheran wins it in straights. They've now won 4 in a row as they beat St. Pius.
At First State Community Bank, our why is simple: to bring a positive impact to every community we serve. We are your neighbors and partners in building a stronger hometown. We work side by side with our community to help local businesses grow and families succeed. Our team takes the time to understand what matters to you, combining personal services with the latest technology so you can bank your way. Stop by one of our locations or visit us at fscb.com.
Mathis Funeral Home of Dexter and Bernie strives to provide their community with the accommodations and services needed to relieve your family during times of loss. For more information, give them a call and see how Mathis Funeral Home can help meet your expectations in celebrating your loved ones.
Back inside the home of the Crusaders, Saxony Lutheran wins it 3 straight over St. Pius. It was a wire-to-wire win in the opening set, 25-9. The entire match featured just 3 ties and a single lead change. The only lead for St. Pius tonight, 1-0 when they got the opening point to start the second. Other than that, every time the Lancers looked up at the scoreboard, they were either trailing or tied 3 times. That's it. That's a tough way to make a living if you're the Lancers, who fall to 1-8 with a loss here, as set 2 is 25-12. Same story in set 3.
Your final numbers, looking at some of the highlights from this one. We talked a lot all afternoon and evening about Jonathan Palmer. He finishes with 15 kills. He had 6 aces. He did have 3 serve errors in that mix. Beyond that, Grant Seibel, 4 kills, 3 serve aces. Samuel Petzold had the 4 kills and a service ace. Braden Zollner had 7 kills, 2 aces for St. Pius. Lucas Powell did have the 6 kills. He had 1 ace to go with that. After that, though, nobody with more than 2 kills. Saxony Lutheran, an interesting stat. We talked about the risk reward. 15 aces, 12 serve errors on the night.
Wow.
So that's a high number of serve errors, but also a good number of aces at 15. The aces and serve errors for St. Pius, 1 ace, 6 serve mistakes. But the scoreboard tells you it was one-sided, lopsided, and that stat tells you that as well. All Crusaders in this one, they win it in 3.
Saxony Lutheran improves to 12-7-1 in the season. Next up for the Crusaders, right back at it Friday. We're right back here with it when Lutheran South comes to town. Cape Notre Dame will be here as well and take on Lutheran South in a doubleheader. We'll bring you here on Aycorp Sports. St. Pius falls to 1-8. Their current losing skid now hits 6 games, and they've got 6 days before they try to figure it out and get a win when they host Duchesne coming up on the 27th. Again, our next broadcast is that Friday. Twin Bill will be here for you. What did you tell me, 4:30 start on that
4:30 start, so an hour earlier than today. We'll be here in plenty of time. We'll get it done.
And we'll have it for you right here on Aycorp Sports. Everybody involved in our program tonight, we certainly appreciate the work of Marley Hatton on the camera, Joshua I, our producer. That's Mike Reeves, Greg Allen saying so long from Saxony Lutheran. It's a straight set winner for Saxony Lutheran. They've now won 4 in a row as they beat St. Pius 25-9, 25-12, 25-12. Have a good night, everybody.